Clerk.
Mayor Miller,
Here.
Veronica Cordova,
Here.
Jake Lopez,
Here.
Rustin Selk,
Here.
Oscar Robinson,
Here.
Preston Elkins,
Here.
Eldon Merrick,
Here.
Diane Parker is absent.
She's on Zoom.
Is she on Zoom? Okay. Diane
Yes,
Parker,
I'm here.
thank you.
I'm here.
Wonderful. And Mike Bradford.
Here.
Okay, very good.
Hey, I'd like to ask us all to please stand. Well, I'd like us all to take a moment and just have a moment of silence for what our community's been through this past week and our students and the community as a whole. Thank you. Veronica, will you lead us in the invocation, please?
Please bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, thank you for all the trials, tribulations, and blessings that you give to us day to day. I would like to pray for the community for this trying time that we are enduring. Wrap your arms around the community and especially the school staff and students. Please guide our meetings so that all decisions that are made for our community are for the betterment and pleasing to you. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Preston, will you lead us in the pledge, please?
Yes, sir. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendships among united cultures.
Thank you. First item tonight is public comment. The public has the opportunity to provide comment on subjects regarding city business during the public comment period. Speakers' comments will be limited to 3 minutes unless the mayor and/or councilors request more information. Time limit is given in an effort to allow public input, but also to move the agenda forward in a prompt yet efficient manner. All speakers must sign in at the beginning of the meeting. Topics are limited to 6 speakers per topic. We have 2 people signed up, kind of dually or, okay. Linda Davis, is going to speak on public funds.
Good evening. I'm Linda Davis from JP Stone Community Bank, Executive Vice President and Director. So this evening, I want to bring to your attention this statute I brought before you, Chapter 6 of Public Finances, Article 10 of Public Money. It has to do with public money deposits. So in the last city council meeting, it was decided to award New Mexico Bank and Trust the operating account, and they committed to pay the city of Portales interest on this operating funds. So now the payment of interest on the city's funds now brings this statute into play. JP Stone is also a bank that has its main branch in the same geographical boundaries of the city unit, the city of Portales. We are also a qualified public depository by reason of FDIC insurance and a provider of collateral security of public monies. So tonight, JP Stone is providing notice to the city of its desire for a deposit of the city's funds in proportion based on each bank's deposits to the total deposits in the geographical boundaries of the city. The last page you have in front of you is the annual FDIC summary of deposits as of June 30th, showing that JP Stone has 51.31% of the market share in the geographical boundary. And our request is that $9 million of operating funds be placed on deposit at JP Stone. So I would ask that this be placed on the agenda for the April 15th council meeting so action can be taken and those deposits moved to JP Stone as per our request under this statute. So if you have any questions.
Be in contact. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Linda.
Okay, our next item is minutes of the previous meeting held March 18th, 2025.
I make a motion for approval.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Elkins, second by Mr. Lopez. Is there any further discussion?
There's one item that I caught in there. Towards the end of the minutes, we were talking with the theme, don't mess with alleys. And there's a typographical error in there that says don't mess with Alice.
We probably don't want to mess with her either, so.
I corrected all of those. I saw that. and I corrected.
I didn't know who Alice was, but I sure didn't want to make her mad.
I'm so sorry. I will correct that.
Okay, and you want to modify your motion as corrected? Preston, would you like to modify?
Yeah,
As corrected,
I will make the motion to approve as corrected.
Mr. Lopez,
Second.
second, okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carried. We have a couple of presentations to make at this point in time. Proclamation declaring Telecommunications Week, April 13th through the 19th. And the proclamation reads, honoring the emergency communication dispatchers, what is the thin gold line? Whereas those professionals who have dedicated their lives, hearts, and souls to being on the other end of a phone or radio when society needs them most. Whereas the voices that they calm the frightened mother whose baby is not breathing. Whereas they are the voice that consoles a spouse when the love of their life has passed away. Whereas they are there when you hear a bump in the night and something just isn't right. Whereas they are the voices that bring light to some of the darkest times. They are often forgotten and often unrecognized for the work they do. They do not do the job for the great pay or convenient work hours, but it's because they want to make the world a little bit safer for all of us. Between the thin red line, the thin red line, white and blue lines of public safety lies the thinnest gold line. This gold line represents those rarely seen, the dispatcher. The calm voice in the dark of the night and the golden blue that holds it all together. The invisible hand calm in the storm, honoring the dispatchers. Now, therefore, I, Mike Miller, Mayor, City of Portales, New Mexico, in recognition of this event, do hereby proclaim the week of April 13th through the 19th, 2025 as Telecommunications Week. So, Janelle? Thank you so much for the work that you do. I've always said that, you know, you're the first line. And if it doesn't work right where you're at, it doesn't work right all through the process. So you are the most important cog, in my opinion, to the whole public safety response. So thank you for what you do. Have another couple of recognitions. Trevor Chacon, are you here?
Yes, sir.
All right, come forward, please. I'd like to present you with this certificate of appreciation in recognition of 5 years of your faithful service and outstanding performance and commitment to excellence for the City of Portales Fire Department. Today, April 3rd, 2020, it's your 5 years. Yeah, one other 5-year recognition. He's not in attendance tonight, but we would also like to recognize Placido Mingo Duran for performance, 5 years of faithful service, outstanding performance, and commitment to excellence for the City of Portales Street Department. So we'll get this to Mingo when we see him next. So. All right, we're going to go to discussion items. Our item is
One more.
I'm sorry, employee recognition challenge coin. Chief Kathy, I apologize.
I was gonna sit down again, sir. Thank you, Mayor and Council. As you know, a few years ago, we started these challenge coins that have to be earned. An employee has to be with us for a full year. They have to get their EMT basic, their EMT intermediate, and their firefighter 1 and 2. Well, we have 2 of our employees that have earned it recently, one of which we'll honor in May on their shift. But I'd like to ask Hunter Hughes to come forward and give him his coin. And I'd like to thank his lovely wife and their family for sharing him with us.
Congratulations, Hunter. All right, now we'll go to our discussion items. And the first item and only item is a water project presentation by Mr. Eric Segovia.
All right, you ready for me, Mayor?
Anytime.
All right, good evening, all. We've been working on a project at RCEC for a little while, and so we're really glad to be able to present that tonight and make some public comment on it finally. So I'll give a little bit of background on our project first of all. With Roosevelt County Electric Co-op, of course, we don't serve the city of Portales. We do serve parts of it. There's some lines there that. But for the majority of our operations are outside of the city limits. We serve all of Roosevelt County. We stretch into all of our neighboring counties. And so we have all of our membership right outside the county line, but we are the city line. But we do share a lot of people in our community that are a big part of Portales. Go to school and shop and dine, everything else in Portales. So big part of the town as a whole. So a little bit of background of why I'm here to talk about water as an electric co-op. We've been kind of monitoring the water situation over the last couple of years from a distance, and we've reached out to offer help to the city and their well field operations and anything else they could need. So one thing at the co-op when we started getting into these more restrictive water restrictions over the last couple of years is we've made a point to try to offer help and solutions and not to complain about the situation. And I think that you all have seen that. We've met with the Water Advisory Committee and others with the Water Department to try to see what we can do to help. And so we've done that for the last couple of years. We have advocated for other solutions like EPCOR. And over the last 2 years, we've kind of seen some of the discussions slow, maybe even stall. Not my business to decide on, but just kind of observation from the sideline. On our side of the thing, our side of the community, we're also seeing our load growth stall, even coming to a decline in some areas. And so that's hurting our operations as well. We've had 3 housing developments that were around the community that have come to a complete screeching halt. We've seen residential stall or even decline in some months. And so I also sit on the economic board, and we've seen some challenges there recruiting businesses. And what we're seeing is a common theme of water. And I don't think it's any secret if you get on social media that, there's a lot of discussion about water in Portales, water in Roosevelt County, and what our future looks like until we get those situations or the situation under control. I don't know if there's any solving the water situation, but I do think we can manage through it. And it's going to take several projects to manage through any type of water solution. And a lot of those projects need to come together. We have some larger projects like the Ute pipeline that'll be here in a few years, and we encourage those to continue. We have some other projects that have been presented to the council that have come along, and we encourage you guys to continue with that as well. But as far as Roosevelt County Electric Co-op is concerned, we finally decided to get involved, and so our board authorized us to purchase a well field southeast of Portales. And so we purchased a well field southeast of Portales that is in close proximity. We think we can easily pipe it to town and help boost water supply to the community. So in short, that's what I'm here to talk about, is we want to help boost water supply to the community. But why the electric co-op? If you look at our structure, and I probably should have brought a better presentation, but for discussion's sake, we have the personnel to actually get some things done. And so, we have an engineering department, we have a line department, we have an accounting department, we have a great management team. We're very effective at project management. We think we can get some things done fairly quickly. Even though we are a member-owned electric co-op, we are a private company, and that helps us do things a little bit quicker than maybe the city government can, no offense. But we think we can cut through a lot of red tape if we privatize some of our operations on helping out with the water from the private side. And I think we can do it a little cheaper. We've seen some estimates for well drilling and adding additional wells to the well field that can be in the several millions in some cases. And we think we can do it for a very small fraction of that. And so, you know, in short, I think we can be a more effective time wise, but also cost effectiveness. And we think we can help out quite a bit. So with that, we've purchased a well field. We think we have a significant amount of water there. We've done some preliminary water testing on our wells. We think we have a good amount of water. We think we have a good enough, well, our preliminary studies showed that, you know, there may be some filtering that may be needed. I think that'd be from any wells that have been pumped down as low as the Ogallala Aquifer has been. And so now we're following that up with further engineering. And so till today, we've done preliminary water studies, and we've been able to quantify how much water we think we have. I think it's a significant amount. And now moving forward, we're working with 3 engineering consultants to continue to plan our water situation and what our operations may be. So we're working with Aquaterix, we're working with DBS&A, and then we're also working with one of our electric consultants that can help us on some water metering on the other side, the Schweitzer Engineering. And so we've engaged with all 3, and we think we're moving along on a good project. I think that one of the big questions is going to be, well, several questions might be, you know, how much water do you have? How much is usable? What size pipes are you going to use? What route are you going to take? You know, that's all part of the engineering study. So I will say that this is probably an early discussion for us to be here presenting. We don't have all the answers yet, but I know there's been a lot of public discussion of, you know, what's going on, what's our CEC planning. And so we wanted to come make some public comment on what our project is, but we don't have all the details yet. Once we do, we'll come back to the city and see what else we can do. But I will address, you know, who do we plan to supply with water? You know, there's 2 water utilities in the area. You know, the water co-op and the city of Portales. And you know, my comment on that is that we have mutual membership with the water co-op, and our first priority is to make sure that our members at the electric co-op have water. And so we want to make sure that the water co-op has an opportunity to continue to do their business as they receive their water supply from the city. But we do think we have a significant amount of water to where we could also supply the city and hopefully take advantages of some engineering efficiencies with the city system to help feed the city and the water co-op as one community. So we're still working on further details, but the short answer on that is both, if we can, or you know, inject in the city system to get to the water co-op if we can. We've had some discussions with the water co-op. They attended our membership meeting that we had a few weeks ago, and so they're informed on our project as well. So trying to think of what else I can add to that. I might just open it up for some questions if you have any.
Questions right now for? I think Eric, and you know, we had a meeting before I went to Santa Fe, but you know, I think as you get more details, that maybe you just kind of regularly come back and report to us, and then, you know, let us know what our next step would be. So we just need to stay in communication, and as this further develops and you get more details, as you said, that we just continue to communicate, maybe have you back here as those things become more available.
Okay. You know, I'll say that, Mr. Mayor, that you know, one thing that we are working on, you know, the reason that we're wanting to work on is we are local. We're a co-op. We are a not-for-profit company, and so we don't need to make a huge profit on anything. You know, the benefit to the electric co-op would be allowing us to continue to grow because we have water sustainability for our community. But I think we could provide a cost-effective option for water and fill some gaps while the other projects are still underway. So keep that in mind. But as far as moving forward, what I would ask of the council tonight is just, you know, open lines of communication. We'll have to study a possible injection location and, you know, different PSI levels and pipe sizes and a lot of other things. So, and then, you know, if you can, and maybe it needs to be for a future meeting, we'd ask for a letter of support and or a resolution just saying that, you're aware of our proposed project. And as we take these projects to the engineering board and the other regulatory authorities, that they know that at least you're aware of what we're proposing, and that you're not committing to anything right now, but that we can have those lines of communication to continue to coordinate the project as we move forward. But again, I think the intent of the electric co-op is just to help the community boost water supply and help the water utilities in our area to continue to do business by helping them get more product to be able to continue to do what they do, to supply our city. So very proud of our board, very proud of our organization for wanting to step up and help out. And I hope we can make a big impact for this community and lift the dark cloud of water scarcity from our community.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you to your board, and yes, we can move forward like you're talking about, I believe.
Mr. Mayor, I don't have a question, but I do have a comment.
Okay.
I just want you to know, I am in full support of anything that's gonna help us find solutions to this, and I think local solutions make more sense than any other kind of solution. I'm all for moving forward with finding out what you can do and how we can work together, but I just want it on the record that I'm supportive of trying to make this work.
Thank you.
I would like to add to that as well. You kind of said the last part, that proud of your board stepping up and, taking on this challenge and really doing it for the community. I think they see that on the city side, we got a lot of red tape, and as a private company, you can kind of cut through some of that. You don't have to abide by the same rules, but you can navigate it a lot faster than a municipality can. And hope you can bridge the gap between us as a city and the water co-op. And we got to work together on this. So I commend you and thank you for everything you're doing. Keep it up.
And the last thing I'll say, just to add to that, Rustin, is I think you're exactly right. It's not one organization or another. It's going to take all of us coming together to find some community solutions for all of us to continue to live here and prosper here. So thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate that. We have one action item tonight. The librarian has come to us and wants to reactivate her library board, and has asked for the mayor with the approval of the council to appoint her a library board. And she's furnished us with the names that you see there in front of you, and she's provided some information if you have any questions about any of these people. But it's Brandon Brooks. Let me just tell you a little bit about these as we read through them. Brandon Brooks, and she says he's the Yucca Telecom IT manager, lifelong library patron, has worked with the library many years with technological needs, easy for me to say, and knows and understands the technical needs of the library. Second is Rosemary Hammond, Inmersh Early Childhood Programs Assistant Director, lifelong library patron, active in library programs, community events, previous Portales Public Library Young Adult Librarian. Next, she's asked that we appoint Betty Williamson, a journalist rancher, friend of the library treasurer, lifelong library patron, biggest supporter and advocate of the library and its programs, extremely active in library programs, community club organizations, high community involvement. Next is Gene Bunday. He's the ENMU Special Collections Librarian, retired, Friends of the Library member, lifelong or longtime library patron, active in library programs. Daniel Swopes, City of Portales clerk, 20 years library experience with Portales Public Library, previous assistant librarian, cataloger, active in library programs, lifelong library patron. Then there's Meredith Eaton, business owner, farmer, Friends of the Library member, longtime library patron, leads Wednesday at 1 o'clock book club. Family and self are active in library programs, presenter for a library adult summer educational program, and active in several community clubs and organizations. And finally, Don Thomas, Central Christian Church senior pastor, local business owner, Friends of the Library member, Ministerial Alliance, Rotary Club, lifelong library patron. Family and self are active in library programs and active in several community clubs, organization, high community involvement. So if there's any other questions, I think Connor can answer those, but with that said, we'd like to appoint these folks to the library board.
I just have one question. What does a library board do?
So this one in particular is just an advisory board. They will offer advice and guidance on the needs of the community. They don't have any fiduciary responsibilities nor any responsibilities as far as personnel matters go. However, they can assist with hiring library director if that was necessary. It still remains the ultimate decision of the city manager, but they are there to help back the library, promote us, and really to be a support team for us.
I would just like to commend you on the folks you've chosen. That's you ought to do more committees for us.
I think it's going to be a really good group. I'm excited to work with them. They'll be excellent.
Are there any further comments? If not, is there any objection to appointing this people to our library board?
I move that we appoint these people.
Okay,
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Robinson, a second by Ms. Cordova to appoint the people that were named. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. That motion carries. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. City council and staff comments. I'll start in the back of the room with staff. Chief and chief. Anybody else back there? The next row?
I've got one.
Okay, good.
The Friends of the Library book sale is coming up. We're doing something this year we haven't done previously, but we will host a book drive this coming Saturday from 10 to 2. Hopefully we want the moisture, so we're gonna just hope that the moisture works out for us, and we'll hope we can keep books dry. But it's supposed to be a drive up. You can drive through. They'll be ready to help you get your items inside. But you can always bring donations anytime. We will set up on the book sale on April 10th. You're welcome to bring items then. We will start at 5 to 7 p.m. that evening to start a Pay What You Can book sale, and it will run through April 17th during regular hours. And this is one of the biggest fundraiser that the Friends Group does to help support the library's programs and events throughout the year. So if you can participate, we'd love to see you shop it.
Great, thank you. All right, how about clerks? Mr. Moore?
Just a few things. The streetlights on First Street between Avenue B and C are complete. Thursday after the wind dies down, we'll start working on more of those. In the last week, we've put out 20 more new dumpsters. The dumpster bag program is still in progress. Only 7 used out of 50 so far. So we have plenty of bags left, and they are free to the public. We got the E&MU road by the softball field patched as best we can. And for streets, they completed 1 CDL last week, 1 in training currently, and 2 are going next week. And that's all I got.
Let's go to the council. Let's start with you, Mr. Rack.
I just want to follow up, Mr. Moyer, on what we've been referring to as the Hold to China. Any update on that? It's still.
Yes, they were filling it in, actually. Oh,
Yeah, so we've got sand that we've got to put in around it. We're trying to finish up a couple other projects. And then we're gonna get some global fill to go just to the top of that pipe, and then we'll start slowly backfilling that hole.
Okay.
But pipes installed and corrections have been made, so.
Great, thanks.
So I don't forget her, I'm gonna go to Miss Parker online. Are you still there?
She just fell off. She said she was gonna try to reconnect.
Okay, well, if she gets back, we'll try to do that. All right, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Can we get an update on where we're at on our reuse water? And any closer to being?
We've got a meeting set up with for the corrective action plan. I have that set up with Wilson and Company on Thursday, and then the 7th we have one with Cambry Townsend, which is our compliance officer with the state. And then we will make our decision off that, based off that, because there's a couple options or scenarios that we can go off of. So that's what we're going to meet on, and then we will we'll continue from there.
Did we have to submit something to this New Mexico Environmental Department on that?
So we submitted the corrective actions plan that Wilson and Company helped us out with. And she reviewed that, looked over. She's just waiting on us to make the decision on which route we want to take. And then she's going to put a letter together for acceptance and approval. And then once that's done, then we'll take the next steps. And then we got to go for, we've got to meet for the CWRSF funding to try to find some funding for those corrective action plans or the corrective actions that we're going to take. And then we'll make next steps after that.
Just a note, on Friday, the 4th, the chamber is hosting a business table lunch. Orlando Ortega is going to be bringing a presentation on the ENMWA U pipeline. Starts at 11:45 to 1. You do need to RSVP to the chamber, and there is lunch available for $10 from Taco Box. And you can eat, listen to what Ortega has to say. But she does need a RSVP
By tomorrow.
if possible.
Anything else?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Elkins.
None for me tonight.
Mr. Lucas.
I want to ask the city manager about the railroad crossing on Boston. What's the update on it?
We have not heard back from the last emails that we have sent to BNSF.
Because that includes that sidewalk coming off of the the football stadium. And they want to do that across the railroad where
Correct.
handicapped people that got wheelchairs can go through there. Now they can cross, they have to jump.
Right. That is part of the improvements that they want to do.
That's, if you push it, it'll get done.
Okay, we're waiting, we're still waiting. Okay, so we have to find, they want us to fund it, so that's part of the issue. We need to find the funding for it, so, but it is something, and we have been in contact with them, but we haven't gotten anything, I think, in a couple of weeks from them.
Well, the reason I tell you is that we got some people out there in the railroad that's working on the railroad, and they're pushing me too. Tell me, are you guys going to do anything about it? Well, we got people working, they said. So I think he'll get done if the city gets on it.
Okay, we'll reach out to them again.
Thank you very much.
So.
Yeah, I was notified on the dumpsters. It's when they're switching them out. There's been at least a couple times, and I noticed firsthand myself, they're not strapping them down to the trailer.
Okay.
They were parked in front of McDonald's, so they could just be sure and strap those down. We don't want those, especially the taller dumpsters, falling over and causing damage and lawsuit waiting to happen. So.
Okay.
And you address the lights, so thank you.
Yep.
Ross.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I have two things I want to mention. I'd like to give shout outs to JD Haskett company. I visited with the manager, David Stroud, about the dirt and the dust that's coming over the fence into the neighborhood on Amazon, Elgin, Boston, etc. And he looked at that and he suggested to me that he would try to do something about it. And this young man has done something about it. He got some engineers coming down to do a study. And after I talked with the city manager, I thought it'd be better for me to just go and talk to the manager of the plant. And I'm really proud of him because he is reaching out to the community. He lives here and he understands the issue of dirt and dust blowing into the community. And so he's going to bring some engineers with his company, Spence, to do a study and make a study to the city about how they can eliminate. They can't eliminate it all, but how they can reduce the amount of dirt and dust that come across those fences. So I'm proud of JD Haskett for stepping up to the plate. And also, Mr. Mayor and Council, we are proud to announce the fact that we are working on, the Cultural Affairs Committee is working on 4th of July tournament for 9 to 14-year-old girls. And we'll be coming back for support. And right now we're working with the University, Jose Montoya, CNS, Martin Luther King Commission, and I forgot all of the people, but we are in the softball team. I'm really interested in the coaches saying they're gonna help us with that. And I've talked to the school district and they said we could have a field for that day. So we're gonna be using the junior high field for that tournament. So it'll be announced later on.
Good. Well, thank you for that, Oscar. Ms. Cordova.
Couple of things. I attended the Armed Forces Support Committee on last Wednesday. They are in their 35th anniversary, so be on the lookout for events and items that are going to be scheduled for RSVPs. And then we have right now the committee is formed of the 4 different groups. So the county, Roosevelt County, City of Portales, Clovis, City of Clovis, and then Curry County. So they are applying for a grant so that the airmen can have support of their mission readiness. What that is just the quality of lives that we have to have, such as water, education, health. There's 4. And housing. So the most important one, the quality of life for our airmen. So that does have a match that will be brought to us soon. Some of this can be done through in-kind. The matches, of course, are based off of our population, so more to come on that. Just wanted to put that in everybody's ear. And then I also received an email from Patrick Lucero from Excel. He was sorry that he couldn't make it tonight because he was ill, but he just wanted to give a quick update. So the mobile substation was energized and carrying loads as of yesterday at 4 p.m. The work should be completed by the end of the month. I will be at the next city council meeting to give another update on the progress of the job. Then during the windy days, Excel is not going to be, we should not be affected by the PS, which is the Power Safety Public Shut Off anymore. Those corrections to that substation have been corrected. They'll continue to operate the electrical system under the EPSS-WSO settings. When that is activated, power lines can stop the flow of energy if an issue is detected, like a tree branch that's on a power line. So anything that is due to a cutoff or a shut off for power outages has nothing to do with the public safety shut off. So if you have any questions, you can email me and I can get them over to Patrick. And that was all I had. Oh, I just wanted to say one more thing. Our community just came out really strong today with all of the support to the schools, and we're really, really proud of all the businesses, the surrounding school areas that supported the just all the love that went around. I know that everybody sharing that just brings some sort of peace to the families. The electric co-op, I love the 4 flags around all of your poles, so that was pretty neat to see. And thank you all for flying your flags for the Portales schools, and keep them in your prayers. And that's all I have.
Okay. Just briefly, more to come. You know, we did receive some capital outlay, but we won't know about that till I tell people the legislative session's not over until the end of the signing day, April 11th. So we'll stay on top of that. Also just wanted to mention that Mayor Pro Tem and I met with the Mexican consulate last Thursday that was here in town. They were here to meet partly with the university, but also wanted to meet with the city. They'd like to come back maybe and meet with you, Chief Williams. I know you were at the mental health thing that day, but they were just here to let us know first of all, they've got some scholarship money available for students. They've got all sorts of programs to help nationals get their proper identifications, maybe even start their citizenship. And they're out of the Albuquerque office. They want to become more involved and back down here. She said that she represents 24, is that right? 24 of the 32 counties. She doesn't represent any of the counties that border the border, if you will. But yeah, you know what I noticed when we were visiting with them, and Veronica, correct me if I'm wrong. Our community has a lot of those services already available in here. Community services and you know, we passed that on to her, and she was really impressed that this community is at that level that, you know, all she can, now she just has to kind of help those people. Because some of those services are already available in our community through different organizations we have in our community. But it was a really nice meeting with them. It was about 45 minutes, and then we're gonna go meet with Dr. Johnston after that. So just wanted to bring you up to date on that. So with that, I would now like to have a motion to convene in closed session to discuss matters as provided by under New Mexico statutes relating to limited personnel matters.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Cordova, second by Mr. Robinson. I need a roll call vote, please.
Mr. Lopez,
Yes.
Veronica Cordova,
Yes.
Mr. South,
Yes.
Mr. Robinson,
Yes.
Mr. Elkins,
Yes.
Mr. Merrick,
Yes.
Ms. Parker, is she available?
I don't think she's
She
back.
dropped off, okay, all right. And Mr. Rackmore,
Yes.
okay.
I'd like to make a motion to go back into open session.
Second.
A motion by Mr. Self, second by Mr. Robinson to return to regular session. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Both sides.
Aye.
Hi.
Opposed, like sign. I'll announce that only those items mentioned in the motion to go into executive session were discussed. There is no action needed. However, we will announce that we will begin to advertise Jenna immediately for Mr. Moyer's replacement, and advertise that the position will be open until filled. So, and then I'll call you tomorrow, a couple of things, but and we're gonna go ahead and do a selection committee like we did last time, and then when we get our candidates, we're gonna have they'll interview, the entire council will interview the finalists. So that's how we're gonna move forward. And with that, we're adjourned.